For years, the story of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's divorce seemed simple. He drank, she left, and they continued raising their kids together. But 7 years later, Affleck finally opened up, and what he revealed in 2025 stunned Hollywood. Their split wasn't caused by drinking or affairs. Garner had been guarding a deeper truth all along, staying silent to protect him. And what he finally admitted explained everything about why she filed for divorce and why she continues to stand by him today. The truth is far more surprising than anyone expected. Ben Affleck was born on August 15, 1972, in Berkeley, California, at Alta Bates Summit Medical Center. His full name was Benjamin Gaza Affleck Bolt. His mother, Kristen Bolt, a Harvard-educated teacher, and his father, Timothy Byers Affleck, who hoped to become a writer and actor, struggled to keep the family financially stable. When Ben was just 3 months old, they moved to Falmouth, Massachusetts. That's where his younger brother Casey arrived in 1975. Their home was always filled with books, plays, and creativity. Chris quoted Shakespeare at night. Tim brought home scripts. But alcohol was also part of their reality, and Tim's unstable work life, carpentry, custodial jobs at Harvard, kept the family moving from one place to another. Still, Ben's artistic spark never dimmed. As a young boy, he would sit backstage watching Boston actors rehearse. By 1983, his parents officially separated. Tim's drinking made daily life impossible, and Chris was left holding everything together. She moved the boys to a small Cambridge apartment, barely getting by on her teacher's salary. Food stamps, hand-me-downs, cramped space, yet she always encouraged Ben to stay connected to the arts. Ben's first big opportunity came at age 7. In 1984, he starred in the PBS series The Voyage of the Mimi. It wasn't simple children's television, there were scientific topics, real facts, challenging lines. The show aired nationwide, making Ben recognizable across the country. Meanwhile, his home life was shifting again. Weekends were divided between his mother's modest apartment and his father's cluttered space filled with unfinished scripts. At 14, he landed a role in the ABC special Wanted, The Perfect Guy, a story tied to themes he understood: pressure, identity, and the feeling of changing yourself depending on who was watching. Life got more difficult when Tim moved to Los Angeles to chase one last screenwriting dream. Chris homeschooled Ben for flexibility, but it made him feel isolated. Acting slowly shifted from hobby to purpose. By 1989, at 17, he appeared on the set of The Flash, gaining real on-set experience. That same year he had a small role in Field of Dreams, playing a young version of Kevin Costner's character. He studied Costner closely, trying to match every gesture. Ben first met Matt Damon in 1984 at Cambridge Ringe and Latin School. Both were 12, both loved acting, both dreamed bigger than their circumstances. They wrote scenes, practiced together, and eventually moved to Los Angeles, scraping by on instant noodles and shared apartments as they auditioned endlessly. Rejection built their determination. They realized they needed to create their own chance, which eventually became Good Will Hunting. Ben briefly attended the University of Vermont in 1991 but left after one semester because acting was all he wanted. In 1992, he appeared in School Ties playing Chris Reese, a quarterback with prejudices reflective of attitudes he'd seen growing up. Around those years, a tabloid falsely claimed he had an inappropriate relationship with a 15-year-old co-star during The Voyage of the Mimi, even though he was only 12. It was his first real encounter with how fame could twist reality. By 1992, he and Matt were broke in a cramped Los Angeles basement, writing the first 40 pages of what would become Good Will Hunting. 3 years of rewrites followed. Terrence Malick suggested the ending shouldn't involve Will chasing Skylar, which changed the emotional direction. William Goldman removed pages of unnecessary action, insisting the heart of the film was the relationship between Will and his therapist. Rob Reiner helped them shape emotional clarity. Castle Rock bought the script in 1994 but gave them only 6 months to find a studio willing to let them star in it. Kevin Smith passed it to Miramax, saving the project. Gus Van Sant directed the film, and Affleck spent weeks mastering a South Boston accent for the role of Chucky. One of the film's most iconic scenes, Chucky telling Will that the best part of his day is when he hopes Will is gone, was largely improvised by Ben. Damon cried during the take. The entire crew felt the weight of the moment. At the 1998 Oscars, they won Best Original Screenplay. They thanked their moms for supporting dreams that once seemed ridiculous. What few knew was that they'd turned down a $1 million offer to protect creative control. They sold the script for $600,000 but quickly blew the money: cars, parties, a house near the Hollywood Bowl. Within months, they were broke again. Good Will Hunting eventually earned $225 million worldwide. Affleck's career accelerated soon after. In Armageddon, 1998, the physical demands were brutal, including a harness malfunction that left him hanging helplessly for almost an hour. In 2000, he filmed Bounce with Gwyneth Paltrow, and although the chemistry helped the movie, fame strained their real relationship. By 1999, they were done. In Pearl Harbor, 2001, the massive production included real planes and dangerous stunts. One crash halted filming for 2 days. In 2003, the sci-fi thriller Paycheck flopped, earning only 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. Years earlier he'd rejected The Matrix, a decision he later regretted. His drinking escalated during Dogma in 1999. He secretly drank on set until entering rehab in 2001. Addiction would shadow him for years. ASA director, Affleck made a stunning debut with Gone Baby Gone in 2007, shooting at more than 85 real Boston locations. He hired real police officers, built authenticity into every detail, and allowed child actors to work under careful supervision. The film earned $34.6 million on a small budget and left audiences debating morality long after it ended. His 2010 film The Town was even more ambitious. Real bank robbers consulted. Fenway Park sequences took 10 days, and Affleck fired his cinematographer mid-production to preserve the gritty look he wanted. Robert Elswit replaced him, shaping the film's moody visuals. Affleck even invested $2 million of his own money in sound design to ensure accuracy. The result was a 94% Rotten Tomatoes score and major award nominations. In 2016, he bulked up significantly for Batman v Superman, clashing with Zack Snyder over how dark Batman should be. Filming Justice League became emotionally crushing. Snyder left due to personal tragedy, Joss Whedon stepped in, tone shifted, and Ben's marriage to Jennifer Garner was collapsing behind the scenes. He was exhausted and broken. In 2017, he stepped away from directing The Batman, saying the darkness of the script was worsening his mental health. That move likely saved him. A leaked 2010 audio clip in 2021 showed him angrily arguing with a producer, which tabloids spun as another meltdown. But it revealed the stress he lived under. By 2023, he returned as Batman briefly for The Flash, working only 10 days but earning $25 million. It was a symbolic ending. The role had cost him emotionally, and it was time to move on. Ben and Jennifer Garner first met in 2000 on Pearl Harbor, but sparks didn't fly until Daredevil in 2003. Their first date was at a Boston Celtics game. Both came from modest backgrounds and valued simplicity. They married privately in Turks and Caicos on June 29, 2005, with only 30 guests. Having forgotten the rings, they used hotel keycards instead. Their daughter Violet arrived on December 1, 2005. Life grew more complicated in 2007 when rumors erupted about Affleck and the nanny, Christine Uzunian. She alleged secret hotel meetings. Affleck denied it, and a private settlement followed. They tightened privacy and tried protecting the kids. By 2015, while filming Batman v Superman, Affleck was drinking heavily. He admitted later to consuming a bottle of scotch nightly. Their relationship had been deteriorating since 2013. Garner went to Al-Anon to understand his addiction. They announced their separation on June 30, 2015. Counseling couldn't repair the marriage. In 2018, he admitted that alcohol had destroyed their last chance at reconnection. She had driven him to rehab multiple times. Their divorce finalized on October 28, 2018, after 2 years. Affleck agreed to $100,000 monthly child support in joint custody of Violet, Serafina, and Samuel. Despite everything, they kept co-parenting and protecting their children from media chaos. In 2019, Ben relapsed again while filming The Way Back, and Garner once more helped him into treatment. Their partnership as parents remained unwavering. In 2025, he told GQ that his breakup with Jennifer Lopez wasn't dramatic, they simply drifted apart. Lopez filed for divorce on August 20, 2024, after separating in April, and it was finalized in January 2025. Later that year, he appeared on Jimmy Kimmel and praised Garner for helping him get sober in 2018 and continuing to support him. Their kids were now 19, 16, and 13, and the two had mastered co-parenting, even spending holidays together. They were seen at a Red Sox game and volunteering at a homeless shelter. In October 2025, Affleck and Lopez made their first joint appearance since the divorce at the premiere of Kiss of the Spider-Woman, which Lopez starred in and Affleck's company produced. The moment was slightly awkward but sincere. He called Jennifer a positive force in his life but described Garner as his true anchor, not romantically, but emotionally. His career rebounded with Artist Equity, the company he and Matt Damon launched in 2022. Their film Air premiered in 2023 and performed well, helped by Affleck's sobriety and renewed focus. In 2025, he said honesty, with himself and with Garner, had opened new paths. In Vanity Fair, he reflected that most public assumptions about their split were wrong. They had simply grown apart, but she helped him become the father he wanted to be. He said he'd choose family therapy over any big Hollywood role. He regretted how the world interpreted their ending, but not the life they built, the kids they raised, or the lessons they learned together.